Tenant demand has risen sharply, the supply of rental properties to the market is unchanged, and rents have just started to cool off. That's the picture painted by the latest Propertymark Housing Insight Report. Propertymark is the UK's leading trade body for sales and lettings agents with almost 18,000 members, and their monthly Housing Insight reports are informed by data from those members, so they provide a very accurate picture of what's happening across the country right now. Let's take a closer look. So on that issue of tenant demand, we've seen on average across the UK 108 prospective tenants registering with each agency across the UK, which is up sharply from December, albeit December is traditionally a quiet month. Their data suggests that that's just fractionally below tenant demand from January of last year, although our own data actually put that higher. So obviously this is going to fluctuate slightly across the country. But either way, there's a lot more people looking to rent property now than there was a couple of months ago. On the issue of property supply, this has been unchanged really for as far back as I can remember. On average, about 10 available properties to rent with each agency across the country that's provided data towards this report. So only 10 properties available. So how does that satisfy that increasing demand from tenants? Well, the answer is, of course, that it doesn't. Because we're seeing on average about, according to this report, 11 prospective tenants are registering for each available property. So unfortunately, we're seeing this trend continue of tenant demand simply not being properly served by the supply of property to the rental market. And as for rents, well, what we're seeing now is 52% of the agents who responded to this survey have said that rents stayed the same as they did in the previous month. So actually, that's the first time that figure has tipped over the 50% mark into the majority since the very depths of the pandemic in 2020. So quite interesting to see what will happen over the course of the rest of the year. My gut reaction tells me that actually we haven't yet hit our stride yet this year, and we will see rents start to increase again. This is all summarised very neatly by Nathan Emerson, who is CEO of Propertymark, who said the number of applicants looking for a rental property rose sharply in January, and although we've seen a sharp increase in the number of properties available per member branch, it's nowhere near enough to keep in line with high demand. I could have just read that at the beginning, couldn't I? Saved us a lot of time. But that is what's happening at the moment across the country. If you're interested in what's happening in Bath, please keep an eye out for the monthly updates that I do at the start of each month. So I'll post a link to the most recent one I've done in this video so you can compare it. But actually, this picture that's been painted by Propertymark's report is very similar to what we found in the last month or so. That's all for now, and I'll see you next time.